Hi, welcome to Money Markets and Motivation. This is Michael. This is grabble or word of the day. It's a verb, feel or search with hands, grope or brout, or sprawl or tumble on all fours. So we are going to go check where we left off on Friday. Right here. Microsoft, Apple once again surges. Tesla looks like it's trying to break out. Google and Meta were up. And financials were up, doing pretty well. Basic materials and energy bounce as well. So let us go over to crypto. Bitcoin and Ethereum are trending pretty well. Bitcoin is up to 118,000, and we have Ethereum up as well. So that is the story with there. Now we're going to head over to our charts. So this is app loving. So this is kind of our educational on the chart reading. Got hit by some shorts. It came out with a short report, said they're going to be kicked off all the major app exchanges and sold off here, tried to come back here when the CEO said that wasn't true. And then it pulled back here. So this is a double bottom here. And once it clears 352, that would be the buy point. And that would be right about here, be 352 and 10 cents. So that would be right about here. Kind of sold off again, building a cup. Their earnings came out and they were up 153%, and they hit the breakout zone right here. And it is trending higher. I believe Citibank and some other sources have them at 525 target for a 12-month target. So we're going to go over to the top 10 stocks where money was flowing. This was up 62%. Amprius Technologies manufactures lithium batteries. Huge gap down here. And then earnings came in at 62% and 36% earnings surprise. They looked like they broke out, and then they had a big sell off on them. CommScope Holdings had a nice gap up, and this is how we treat the gap ups. As long as it holds the low of the gap, can stay in the stock, and it looks like it's trying to break out again right up here. So we got this year 606% earnings increase, another 19% next year. So that is the story with that one. On to Fannie Mae. Looks like it's trying to break out. So this is a pivot zone, and it popped into the profit zone right here. It was up 18.9%. On to Power Solutions. Power Solutions earnings up 211%. Look at this huge blue tower of volume. It's not your Aunt Edna buying into the stock, and it was up 13.57%. Willdan Group up 27% on their earnings, up 173%. And look at that, was 113% earnings surprise. 2025, their earnings are supposed to be up 48%. Right here, another 8% next year. This is app, which we just looked at. Kratos Defense. Looks like it's breaking out. Consolidation right here. Earnings came in at negative 21% from the year-over-year quarter, but still got a huge volume, up 8.1%. This is Ramaco Resources. Got a nice move up here, pretty good volume. This volume right here was pretty good, but it did bounce off the 20-day moving average, so that was a positive. It was up 4% here. EPS rating is pretty low. It's only beating 5% of all the stocks in the stock market. Look, next year, their earnings are supposed to be up 265%. Alistair was up 11.69% on earnings increase of 28%. The earnings are supposed to be up 62% this year and another 43% next year. And Celsius holding, we got a gap up here. Looks like it's holding the gap. Earnings came in at a plus 18%, gets above 50%. And what happened over here? This looks like a double bottom, 25.23, and pulls back to 21.10. And when it gaps up here to 34.44, that would have been a buy. It did pull back here, and then it breaks out again right over here. So that is what we're going to look at there. Now we're going to move over to our PowerPoint. So this is our sentiment with the stocks at all-time high. It's pretty interesting that the number of bearish votes are higher than our bullish votes over here. Is really pretty strange. 1 year bearish high was 61.9, right now at 43.2. This is courtesy of Market Surge. And this is the market cap weight of the top 10 largest US stocks. It's currently, I think this is a pretty much all-time high. So there's a big potential if these market cap stocks sell off that a lot of people could be hurt, but just don't know how high this is going to go. When things go down, you just never can estimate how low they can go, and when they go higher, you just don't know how high they can go. This is a chart of the Dow Jones. This is a slightly bullish pattern over here, a spinning top. Kind of looks like there's a change underway. It actually looks like maybe going in a pause here. Up and down pattern, just kind of basing. Got lower volume on the bullish sign here. We got a bend on the stochastics, and we got an upward trend on the CCI. So we got a mixed report right here. If we look out on the weekly chart, this is kind of what we have here. We got a triple top up here and possibility of pulling back to 364.12. Our current target on the Dow is 443.67, but the longer term trend is down to pull back to 368.12. Here is the small cap Russell 2000. It's in a kind of a basing pattern, got lower volume on the pullback here. It's kind of a bearish spinning top here. So we'll see if it can clear this 20-day moving average. It's just having a little bit trouble getting up there and clearing it. So we're moving on to the NASDAQ. Here's the NASDAQ QQQ. We'll see if it can clear this. QQQ got a target of 546.15. I think that's a little off. The price that we got there. Oh, I did. This is chart that hasn't actually changed yet. So that's why these numbers are out a little off. We'll try to correct that a little later. So this is the S&P 500. It kind of resembles the NASDAQ. Looking at a 615.26 target. I think it may pull back here a little bit. Got a lower volume on the upward trend right here on this bullish trend. And this is moving on up. And both of the stochastics and the CCI are moving in a positive manner. So it possibly could move a little higher. We'll take a look at the VIX. This is the S&P 500 right here. This is a fan line. So the S&P may have difficulty clearing this previous high right over here. Draw these fan lines out, and it may tread a little water, may go into a basing pattern. So we'll just have to wait and see. The long-term trend could possibly be a year out. It's 497.99, and that would be coming down to this gap area right over here. So this is our VIX. The VIX is trending down here. So if the VIX continues to trend down a little further, that means the S&P 500 will go higher. So this is the target right down here. And the long-term target is to fill this gap right over here. And I believe that's 30.95 over there. So that'd be a doubling from where we are right now. So that is our show for today. Our quote of the day is from David Ryan, an investor. Started out with Investors Business Daily. I believe his 3-year return was 1,376% when he was running for the Investor of the Year championship. So in terms of just controlling your emotions, fear and greed, and discipline, and probably one thing I base all my investment criteria on is a passage found in Ecclesiastes chapter 1:9. It talks about there's nothing new under the sun. You think things are new, but it's already existed before. So there you have it. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday.